Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT Matrix is one of the most reliable tools for developing a 3 to 5 year strategic plan, as well as understanding your true strengths and weaknesses. But once you have developed one, how do you create a strategic plan from it? If you're looking to figure out how to analyze your SWOT matrix to identify the strategic initiatives that will be the backbone of your corporate strategic plan, then this video is for you. Transforming your business from struggling to success and from success to significance. In the development of the SWOT Matrix video that I did previously, I showed you how to develop your own SWOT Matrix and how to identify your top 5 strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So if you followed the video or followed along in my Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book, at this point, you should have a SWOT Matrix looking something like this one. If you've reached this point, you should feel pretty good about your accomplishment. You now have a greater knowledge of understanding your true strengths and weaknesses, as well as the opportunities for growth and threats that exist in your industry today. Your SWOT matrix probably looks pretty impressive to you and your team. It should. Very few owners and CEOs have taken the time to accomplish what you just did. I know it was tedious and took some quality time from you and your team to develop. But unless you created your SWOT matrix to better understand your strengths and weaknesses, you were probably doing this exercise to create your 3 to 5 year corporate strategic plan. The question is, how does one take this SWOT matrix and develop a strategic plan from it? That is what I'm going to show you in this video. That is what SWOT matrix analysis is all about. I'm now going to show you how to analyze your SWOT matrix to come up with your 5 high-level strategic initiatives that will give you the greatest probability of success in your strategic plan. We will limit the focus of your plan to 5 strategic initiatives. Why only 5 strategic initiatives is the question that I'm always asked. The consensus of the industry is that no company can focus on more than 5 initiatives at any given time. Keep in mind, these 5 strategic initiatives represent activities that you're going to be doing over the next 3 years in addition to all the activities you currently perform as part of your normal business operations. That's why you want to limit your new strategic initiatives to only 5. If you and your team have been busy, they are about to get busier. Your strategic initiatives are the high-level activities you're going to do as part of your strategic plan. Using the football analogy, these are the plays that you're going to call to get you into the end zone. This is where the rubber meets the road. Everything you have done up till now in your strategic planning process is to help you identify the right strategic initiatives that will get you to your destination and the 3-year vision you are preparing. Once you determine your strategic initiatives, the rest of the planning process involves breaking down each strategic initiative into manageable pieces and then creating a project plan to record and track progress and hold people accountable. At a high level, the strategic planning process is that simple. If you have studied other strategic planning books or frameworks, you may be confused by terms such as strategic imperatives, strategic objectives, goals, strategies, tasks, and action plans. The confusion comes from a lack of industry-wide definitions for those terms and authors using the terms differently to represent different levels of action items. If you read enough of these strategic planning books, you will see that many of them are saying the same things using different verbiage. In my Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book and in this video, your strategic initiatives will represent the highest level of activities in your strategic plan, and we've already said you'll be limited to creating no more than 5 of them. Later in this video, I'll explain how to break down these 5 strategic initiatives into strategic goals and then individual tasks later in this video. But for now, let's focus on the identification of your 5 strategic initiatives that will be the backbone of your strategic plan by analyzing your SWOT matrix. The first method of SWOT matrix analysis I'm going to show you is a more methodical approach, which I suggest everyone who has never done this exercise before use. The second method of analysis I will show you is a shorter way of doing this analysis and requires some intuitiveness to it. I like to compare this to long division and short division in mathematics. Everyone prefers short division because it's quicker, but you can't do short division in your head until you can understand and can perform long division on paper. The same here, you really can't do the short intuitive method until you understand the longer methodical method. So let's look at the methodical analysis methodology. The key to methodically analyzing a SWOT matrix to identify your strategic initiatives is to look at your matrix from a needs analysis perspective. What is the implied need that each SWOT statement makes? Once you identify that need, you then rewrite that need as an action item, which becomes your strategic initiative. Let's look at some examples from Heavenly Metals' SWOT Matrix, which can be found in the Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book and in the video I did on developing a SWOT Matrix. The first strength statement listed in Heavenly Metals' SWOT Matrix, presented in the previous video and in Chapter 9 is 1. Key relationships with major manufacturers, especially in the recreational industry, provide opportunities for highly profitable aftermarket products. A needs analysis of this statement would say that because Heavenly Metal has key relationships in the highly profitable aftermarket product arena, then Heavenly Metal should look at opportunities to expand their products and sales in those profitable markets through their existing relationships. Notice the because-then relationship. If you are familiar with computer programming, it's very similar to the if-then programming statement, which makes sense since both are done very methodically. Here's another example from one of Heavenly Metal's opportunity statements in their SWOT matrix, which is number 4. Aftermarket sales of parts that are not sold by OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, especially in the recreational industry where customers pay top dollar for customization. A needs analysis of this statement would say that because customers are willing to pay top dollar for customization in the recreational industry, therefore a profitable opportunity exists where there are no OEMs offering aftermarket products. This would also apply in cases where there are a very limited number of OEMs, for example, 1 or less, selling the needed products in the aftermarket. Another opportunity statement from Heavenly Metal SWOT Matrix reads, number 3. Selling aftermarket products engraved with customer's name and logo increases our product value. A needs analysis of this statement will say that because Heavenly Metal's customers enjoy seeing their name on our products that Heavenly Metal manufactures for them and are willing to pay extra for that value-added service, therefore an opportunity exists to market custom engraving services to Heavenly Metal's current and future customers. In fact, this could be the hook that gets Heavenly Metal into the door with new customers and offers to solidify their relationship with their current customers. As you perform the needs analysis on each SWOT matrix statement, you will start to see similar or common needs or threads throughout the statements. You will want to group these needs analysis statements together, which will then produce one strategic initiative. This will help you reduce your strategic initiative count to 5 while ensuring you address similar and common needs in that same initiative. For example, by combining the needs analysis of the 3 SWOT statements shown above, we can summarize one of Heavenly Metal's needs or imperatives as being Heavenly Metal needs to expand into the profitable aftermarkets, especially where OEMs do not supply or only one supplier exists. Engraving products with our customer's name and logo on it at additional cost makes customers feel that they own the product and provides greater loyalty and sense of value. By analyzing the entire SWOT matrix, we can summarize the top 5 needs analysis of Heavenly Metal and drive the strategic initiative from the strategic imperative. They are 1. Need to expand into the profitable aftermarket, especially where OEMs do not supply or only one supplier exists. Engraving products with our customer's name and logo at additional cost makes customers feel that they own the product and provides greater loyalty and sense of value. That's the needs analysis. The strategic initiative is growth in aftermarket products and personal engraving services in profitable customer markets. The second needs analysis says, need to identify and negotiate lease purchases for our costly hardware and software to reduce the overhead and cost of goods sold. The strategic initiative from that is switch from purchased to leased equipment wherever possible. The third need analysis says, we need to develop in-house training programs to attract, train, and retain top talent and develop a program that encourages career-minded people to grow with us. The strategic initiative from that is develop in-house career training programs to attract and retain top talent. Number 4, the need is to separate customer account management from sales to better service and sales to our existing customers while providing additional resources for expansion to new customers and products. The strategic initiative is then reorganize the sales organization to better serve new and existing customers. And the fifth needs analysis says there's a need to develop vertical integration through the acquisition of key suppliers and scrap metal companies to decrease price fluctuations caused by market dynamics. The strategic initiative then is vertical industry growth through key acquisition of upstream and downstream partners. Using the methodical needs analysis method, the development of strategic initiatives simply becomes a one-to-one translation of your top 5 needs, which are also known as strategic imperatives. You are simply rewriting and summarizing your need as an imperative or an action item or strategic initiative. Yes, by summarizing the strategic initiative as a short title as shown above, you are losing some of the details that were present in your needs analysis. But don't worry about that. You will pick up all the details contained in your SWOT matrix when we break down your strategic initiatives into smaller strategic goals, which I'll cover later this in video, and it's also done in the book. Your strategic goals simply become the subparts or next level headers of your strategic initiatives. But before we go into how to break down the strategic initiative, let's look at that shorter method, that short division, so to speak. Now let's discover a shorter method to determining strategic initiatives. You may have noticed that people like me that are experienced in using the SWOT Matrix framework often skip this step and simply interpret the strategic initiatives by looking at the SWOT Matrix. Using an arithmetic analogy, rather than doing long division, they are doing short division in their head. I will now show you how they do it. Strengths, opportunities, pairing. By looking at your top 5 strengths in your top 5 opportunity statements, you should see a natural thread that ties these 2 categories together. Best of all, using the football play analogy, this shows you the plays that you execute the best, along with the best opportunities to execute those plays. Sounds good, right? Of all the pairing you can do with the 4 quadrants of the SWOT matrix, your strengths opportunities pairing is generally the most lucrative one when looking for financial growth. In fact, what you'll see is in the heavenly metal SWOT matrix analysis, 4 of the strategic initiatives came from strengths opportunities pairing. Financial growth is generally what most CEOs are looking to achieve, and generally why Fortune 500 companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to create and manage strategic plans. For example, one of Heavenly Metal's top 5 strength statements mentions their strengths in the aftermarket product arena, especially in the recreational industry products. But if you look at their current revenue and profitability pie charts contained in their sample strategic plan outlined in the Strategic Planning for Kingdom Business book, you will see that they were not just strong in the aftermarket arena, but this is where a significant amount of their revenue and their greatest profitability lies. But as profitable as their aftermarket sales are, they believe that they've only tapped a small portion of the aftermarket metal fabrication business. For one of their top 5 opportunities, they believe the best aftermarket opportunities exist where there are a limited number of suppliers, 1 or less, providing the profit to aftermarket customers. I'll give you an example of what that all means. For example, let's say a boat manufacturer, they may purchase 1 million cleats through a competitive bid for the boats they're building. Heavenly Metal may have bid on that bid and won it. But once the boats are built and sold, neither the boat manufacturer nor any supplier makes a replacement cleat for those boats, which are eventually going to get lost or broken or something. Heavenly Metal is looking for instances where there is 1 or more less companies selling replacement cleats, and the boat's parts supplier is willing to order at least 500,000 replacement cleats from Heavenly Metal for the aftermarket product. Combining this strength with that opportunity creates the natural pairing of pursuing growth in the recreational industry where only 1 or less supplier is offering the parts, and there is a need for at least 500,000 parts to make the manufacturing opportunities profitable. Obviously, if somebody only wants 5 cleats, it's not worth making. Going back to the spaghetti at the wall analogy I use when comparing strategic planning to the Pareto principle, an analysis of pairing your top 5 strengths with your top 5 opportunities should show you the process of the spaghetti throwing that has the greatest chances of both sticking to the wall and having the greatest impact on your company's growth once it sticks. But another pairing that often produces strategic initiatives is the analysis of your top 5 weaknesses with your top 5 threats. This is especially true when the threat and the weakness are essentially the same. This is an area that you need to shore up to guarantee you can stay competitive in your industry. By definition, these are characteristics where you perform less than average against your competition, and there's a significant threat to your business's future because of them. This is probably an area where your competition has a competitive advantage over you that needs to be addressed now. For example, Heavenly Metal has invested heavily in computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing equipment and software. These capital investments are necessary to be competitive in their industry and to quickly and inexpensively analyze new projects to determine whether they can respond to bids based upon the margins and numbers required to produce a product with an acceptable level of risk and profitability. This is currently one of their strengths, that they have the state-of-the-art equipment. However, maintaining the state-of-the-art equipment competitive advantage is extremely costly, since the hardware and software tend to be obsolete every 5 years and need to be replaced with newer equipment to stay current. At the same time, the used market for this equipment is very limited, and the residual value is quite low after 5 years. Therefore, a significant amount of heavy metals profits must be reinvested every year back into a capital equipment costs. This frequent investment cost and risk of obsolescence is both a weakness and a threat to their future. In order to counter this weakness-threat pairing, Heavenly Metal has decided that it makes sense to lease rather than purchase their manufacturing software, stock controls, and equipment to minimize this weakness and threat. Leasing, whenever possible, becomes a new mantra in one of their strategic initiatives. Next is threats opportunities pairing. Can a threat to a company be an opportunity to grow into size? Absolutely. In fact, several of the alternative strategic planning frameworks mentioned in my Strategic Planning Kingdom business book, such as PEST, P-E-S-T, are based upon analyzing external threats to a company in order to develop strategic initiatives. Here are some additional guidelines to the SWOT matrix analysis. First off, don't be surprised if you end up with more than 5 strategic initiatives. I would be surprised if you didn't. However, you must exercise discipline in reducing your strategic initiatives down to 5. Here are a few suggestions to ensure they have the best 5 initiatives for your company. 1. Focus on initiatives that will have the greatest financial return on investment. You are looking for the greatest impact to achieving your vision with the least amount of cost and effort. Make sense? Focus on initiatives that have the greatest impact at reaching your 3 to 5 year vision. Which one will move you closer to your vision? Number 3, focus on initiatives that are achievable in a 3 to 5 year time frame. The faster there is an ROI, the greater the success rate of the strategic initiative. Number 4, focus on initiatives that will provide the greatest discernible value in differentiation from your customers' and prospects' perspective. These are the initiatives that will have the greatest impact to your competitive advantage. Number 5, focus on initiatives that help you excel in what you do and how you do it, which is about excellent execution of industry best practices. So now that you have your 5 strategic initiatives, your next step is to break each initiative down into smaller action items, which we will call strategic goals. You can expect to have multiple strategic goals for each strategic initiative. Each strategic goal will then be broken down into smaller tasks. This is easily done in a project management tool like Microsoft Project. However, in Microsoft Project, everything is called a task, and you end up having subtasks to task and subtasks to subtasks in part of your breakdown. You can also use an Excel spreadsheet to break these strategic initiatives into strategic goals and each strategic goal into individual tasks. Here is an example from Heavenly Metal's strategic plan shown in the Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book. In summary, one of the criticisms of the SWOT matrix is that the matrix doesn't generate strategic initiatives by itself. That's true, but the same can be said of every other strategic planning framework. The SWOT matrix is one of the best and most proven frameworks for developing a corporate strategic plan or just better understanding your true strengths and weaknesses. After this video, you should be able to analyze your SWOT matrix to determine your 5 strategic initiatives that will help you get from where you are to where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. For more information, take a look at the development of the SWOT Matrix video that I already did and the Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book. I'll leave the links below. If this video has been of some help to you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. If there are any other topics you'd like to see discussed relating to the SWOT Matrix or strategic planning in general, please let me know. Until then, be blessed and keep doing business His way.